everyone, my name is Mama Ivan and welcome to my kitchen garden. My farm is in Gatondo town in Kiambu County in Kenya. And a small introduction about who I am before I show you my farm. I'm a psychologist by profession and also a farmer. I'm passionate about farming. So I guess with an 8 to 5 job, sometimes you find it a bit hard to do farming. I've tried to have a kitchen garden for quite a while now. I could not really manage it myself, so I had to find help. But then I would have issues with my gardener, and it got to a point it became frustrating. And then sometime last year, I got a baby. So once I got a baby, I realized just how important it was for me to have purely organic produce, once we get to the 6 months mark. And my garden was really frustrating me. So I went on Facebook and YouTube and I tried to see other ways people are doing kitchen gardens. And then I came across these people called Farm in Wonder, and I liked the idea that they had because it meant I would have to not deal with my gardener. I could try and do this on my own, which is something I wanted to give a shot. And that's when I decided to do farming in this way. So it's been over a year of farming like this, and it's been working because one, I don't have to deal with my gardener. He was a source of stress, and that's something I didn't want to deal with. Also, it's easy to manage because I don't know if you can see the garden, but I barely have to weed. So that makes it manageable. With my 8 to 5 job, I can just come and do that in the evenings. Once, maybe twice in a week, I just come and look at the garden, water it, and that's done. Apart from not having to stress about a gardener, the best part about having my own kitchen garden is I know how I'm growing my veggies, from where I'm getting the seedlings to what is in the soil and to the type of water that I'm using. Because before we would have issues of stomach upsets, or when you buy something from the market because you're not really sure where it's from. I'm sure you've also had cases about veggies not being that clean. But with this, I know the manure I've used just organic manure. I know the water is clean. I know the soil is good, and I've not added anything. So even if I were to juice this spinach and just drink it as a smoothie, I know I'm healthy, and I'm not, risking having any chemicals in my body. And another thing I love about having my own kitchen garden is that I save a lot. And it's not even just about the money, although I do save on money. Because if I were to go to an organic farmer's market, the amount I would spend on just maybe getting a bunch of spinach and some lettuce and all that would be more than 1,000. But with this, I don't have to buy. And away, apart from just now the cash, there's the time. The time to get from my home to the market and back, that is time I can now use to do something else. And there's also the most important thing, right now, the cost of fuel is really high. So you also save on things like that, because if you have to drive yourself or if you have to use public means, you're saving all those expenses. Because I just come here and I pluck. It takes me less than 5 minutes to just come and pluck because it's super easy. So if I'm harvesting, it doesn't take time. And the best part, you don't have to be an expert farmer to have a kitchen garden. It's simple. You know what you use in your family, so you're specific. If I use more of spinach than kales, I'll have my spinach. And I just plant, water, harvest, done. Another thing I like about my kitchen garden, I mentioned I had issues with my gardener. So with this, you find that it's easy to manage. I don't really need to have skills for digging and such, because for this one, you see the way it's been planted, I just have to make sure these spaces, the soil is good. So I can dig up maybe with something small, and that's once a week. I can just come and dig up the soil a bit to make sure it's good. And then all I have to do is water. And when it comes to watering, I think I do it twice a week. So it's super easy to manage. I can do that in the evenings after work, or when I don't have an early morning, I do that before I go to work. I just use a hose pipe and I'm done. So when it comes to managing the garden, it's become something I don't mind doing because it doesn't take much time or effort. And the best part about this garden is it has a durability of, I think, 10 years plus. So far, I've had it for a year and a half and looks the same as it did when I came. It looks the same as it did when it was installed. And for the spinach, which is the best part, once you plant them, you find you can harvest for like 4 months to 6 months. Like you'll see there's a difference between these ones and these ones. These ones are, I think, 2 weeks old right now. You can see the size. And these ones, the ones that are here, they are 2 months. So these ones I've been harvesting for over a month. And these ones I'm yet to harvest. I'll start harvesting once they're a month old. So I try to space them so that once I'm done harvesting this, after 6 months, I'll be able to harvest these ones before the ones I replant grow. So it's easy to manage my kitchen garden. So I think something that is important to mention is that I find farming super relaxing. This is something I enjoy doing either on the weekends or maybe when I'm on holiday. And I think I can use the word therapeutic because when I'm here and I'm just either watering, I'm weeding, I'm just seeing the progress of my veggies, it just makes me feel good. And yeah, relaxing is the best word to describe it. I just relax when I'm in the farm. What I've learned from my own experience with the kitchen garden is that you don't really need to have that much space for you to do gardening. Even if you're in an urban setup, like in an apartment and you don't have that much space, maybe just a balcony, or you have a very small compound, there's still a way you can have your kitchen garden. You can use your walls, you can, have structures across the wall and you can plant whatever it is that you want to plant. If it's on the balcony, you can have some planters and you can have your veggies, your fruits, your herbs. You don't have to feel limited by space. There are so many other options where you don't have to plant directly in the soil. You can have, the raised options. Like if it's a balcony, you can have like planters, planters on the balcony. You can even have like a staircase of planters to increase your space. If it's the walls, like I've mentioned, you can take advantage of all your walls and have structures on them. And it's easy to set up. It's something, if you're handy, you can do it yourself, or you can get maybe someone who's doing that kind of kitchen garden and they can set it up for you. And you'll find it's not expensive. And if you're like me and you have some bit of space, you can still do something like this, because you'll find you can increase your space more than it is. You will multiply it by, I don't know how much, but you can increase your space, as you can see. So you can just, whether you have soil, because when it comes to farming, people instantly think about soil. So you should not feel like you're limited by soil. Whether you have soil in your compound, or it's concrete, or it's just that tiny balcony space, take advantage of it and grow something fresh. If you're thinking about having a kitchen garden and maybe you're a bit on the fence about it, I would advise you just go for it. Because you see, when you look at the advantages and maybe whatever you might consider to be disadvantages, which I still don't think are disadvantages, the advantages are higher. An example in my case, yes, I had to have an investment of having these gardens installed. But then when I look at the advantages, it's been over a year now. I'm able to have my fresh produce all through the year. I'm able to know that they are clean, they are free of chemicals and all that. There's a relaxing bit about, gardening. For me, mostly I enjoy that part. And you find that you can have a variety. You're not limited. Like I can do whatever type of veggie I want to grow right here. And also, if you are looking to maybe have a side hustle, this is a good way. Because in my case, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4 gardens and a few behind me. And I can't consume everything with my small family. So I can still decide to sell to my neighbors some of the veggies. And that is money that will be coming in without a lot of struggle. So you find, apart from your main job, your kitchen garden can feed your family and bring some extra income. Something I should mention, for you to start a kitchen garden, it's not very expensive, and it's something that is going to serve you for quite a long time. Like mine will serve me for, let's say, 10 years from now. So that was a very minimal investment when you compare it to how long it's going to serve me. So when you weigh the advantages of having a kitchen garden, you'll see that you definitely want to go for it.